Hello and welcome to Indian Express Online. Today, Women and Child Development Minister Maneka Gandhi has lashed out at her counterpart in the Ministry of Environment and Forest, Mr. Prakash Javadekar. Maneka, who's known to be an animal rights activist herself, has said that Javadekar has gone ahead and declared certain animals as vermin in some of the states and sanctioned their killings. For instance, in Uttarakhand, wild boar, in Bihar, nilgais, and in Himachal Pradesh, monkeys. And he's also issued draft notifications that might, term wild boars in Maharashtra and peacocks in Goa as vermin and allow their mass killing. We have Amitabh with us to explain the implications of this order. Hi, Amitabh. Do you think Maneka is justified in her anger on this issue?
See, the issue that Maneka has picked up is not new. These notifications have come over a period of last 6 months. 3 notifications have been issued, each one dealing with one particular wild animal in one particular state. So in December, the Environment Ministry issued a notification declaring nilgai in Bihar as a vermin for a period of 1 year. A similar notification was issued for wild boars in Uttarakhand in February, and 1 month later, another notification was issued for monkeys in Himachal Pradesh. Now, this declaration or classification of a particular wild animal, which is otherwise a protected animal under the Wildlife Protection Act, so their classification as vermin allows them. Allows the state government or the forest officials to kill them for a specified period of time. So these notifications, all of them say that these would be classified as vermin for a period of 1 year and only within that state. So that is how, that is what the procedure is. So there is nothing new in what has happened.
Right.
The trigger for her anger seems to be some news reports in the last 1 or 2 days, which has been reporting that large-scale killing of nilgais has been happening in Bihar. So that seems to have prompted her recent outburst against Javadekar. The notifications are not new.
True. But Maneka's stand has also been that this whole killing is not based on any kind of scientific work. No due diligence has been done. For instance, in Maharashtra's Chandrapur, where you have a huge tiger population, killing of wild boars might adversely affect the tiger population and lead them to stray on to the nearby villages. So, do you think she's right in her stand?
Well, as far as law stands, and the law in this regard is the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. The law doesn't talk about any scientific management or scientific justification for killing of animals. The law has 2 provisions dealing with killings of wild animals, protected wild animals, and the manner in which it can be done. And all that the law requires is that if the chief wildlife warden of the state is satisfied that any particular animal has become a danger to the life of the people in that area or to the crops in that area, then the chief wildlife warden on his own satisfaction can give it in writing that these animals can be killed for some special period of time. The states had given the requests to the Environment Ministry that these particular animals are creating havoc in this region, and therefore these should be declared vermin. The Environment Ministry considered those proposals and declared these animals to be vermin for a fixed period of time. And after that, the killings have been happening. In fact, the killings have happened only in Bihar and to an extent in Uttarakhand. The Himachal Pradesh, to our knowledge, I don't think they have started killing monkeys.
Because there has been a lot of local resistance, that's what we hear.
Yes.
Also, many of the animal rights activists, what they say is many times the declaration of animals as vermin is dictated by political considerations, where MLAs come forward and say, these are causing a lot of damages to our field, so declare them as vermin.
In fact, if you will see, in the last several months, there have been several parliament questions by several MPs saying, crops have been destroyed in a particular area, or some animals have been threatening life of people in that area and demanding animals to be declared as vermin or being allowed to be killed. So that has been happening over the last. But I mean, decisions to declare something, decision to allow the killings of protected animals does not happen on the requests of individual MPs or individual applications from various groups. That doesn't happen like that.
Also, this episode apart, if we can recollect, there have been previous instances where Maneka has taken on Mr. Javadekar. For example, in the case of Amazon, where she found that the online retail giant was selling a lot of snares, traps and other prohibited items under the Wildlife Act. And when the Environment Ministry said that they're letting off Amazon based on a pure apology, she demanded that Amazon furnish a list of all the sellers who are selling these prohibited items.
And there's been another instance as well. In fact, Maneka Gandhi, she's a former environment minister, by the way, and very well-known animal rights activist. But even the issue of climate change, she ventured into this subject last December and tried to criticize India's policy on climate change. This happened when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in Paris during the climate change conference. Mr. Javadekar was in Paris. The big climate change conference was happening in Paris, and Maneka Gandhi came out and said that India itself had a lot to do on climate change because it was a big emitter. So there is a history to it, but this was certainly, I mean, today's attack was very unexpected and unprovoked. So thank you for watching us. Keep watching the Indian Express Online.
Thank you.